Hey friends, Mario Cavallo here with the Dragon Warzone. Great to see all of you. I've had a couple of really important things on my mind this last couple of days. This is going to be a couple of updates I'm going to do. I'm going to try to keep them to just 10 minutes each regarding the coronavirus outbreak and the fact that, well, I don't even think you're hearing it. There's two facts. Fact number one, the coronavirus outbreak in China has already peaked. I was very fortunate to be on CGTN's China 24 talk show appearance 2 nights ago, and on the same show, they were also featuring Dr. Zhong Nanshan, who is China's hero with respect to virology and the amazing work that he did for the SARS outbreak many, many years ago. And he had said very clearly that from what he understood about the virus and what he had understood about China's incredibly broad, aggressive, and effective response to the virus, which only China could do, that, and it all turns out to be true, okay, that the virus spread would peak by the end of February. Now, I was a little more optimistic. I thought the virus spread would peak by February, the weekend of February 9th. I'm more than happy to say I was 2 weeks early in comparison to the very, very respected and obviously much more knowledgeable Dr. Zhong Nanshan. And sure enough, we're at the end of February. Happy 2020 leap year, by the way. It's February 29th. And sure enough, the virus has peaked across China's 21 other provinces, and there's other special economic zones and regions, but across China's 21 major provinces, across the majority of the country, the virus has already passed. For example, here in Liaoning, down in, which is in the northeast, Liaoning province, where I am in the capital of Shenyang with my family, as you know, and all the way here we are in the northeast, and all the way down to the south, all the way at the bottom of the country, 2,500 kilometers south, Guangdong province, the heart of the world of manufacturing for the entire planet, right? And also there, and many, many other provinces, no new cases for 2 weeks. And in other cases of other provinces, no new cases for like a week. So the virus, we have accomplished the goal, which was to isolate the ember in the fire so that the ember glowing in the fire does not spread to other wood, and then that ember finally dies. Isn't that beautiful? And we've accomplished that. So that's number one. Number two, at the same time that it has died in China, and don't get me wrong, we're still vigilant here because it could spark back up. So we're all still in strong control measures. Unfortunately, you know what I'm going to say is number two, and that is that the virus has gone out to the rest of the world, including cases where they don't even know that the origin was from China. So, you know, this is not good. This video is for all of you specifically who are outside of China. Now, I'm an American, so I'll say for my fellow Americans in the United States, who obviously can speak English, but this applies equally well to any other country in the world. You have to adopt a certain mentality, and I do not, based on what I'm seeing, want you to rely on you're just sitting there and letting the institutions of the government tell you what's going on and let them just spoon feed that to you. Now, whether that's the United States government or the CDC or the HHS, and especially not legacy mainstream media like Fox News, who I heard them offer some horrific advice and information regarding this flu bug. This flu bug. Oh, for heaven's sake, it's not a flu bug. Not even close to a flu bug. It's a much nastier than a flu bug. And I'll get into that in the second video. In this video, I want to tell you what to do. You, as a human being, me, my 9-year-old boy's in the other room watching TV. He's been watching a lot of TV and doing a lot of homework on his own. This has been very tough on our boy. He hasn't played with another kid for a month. Think about what I'm saying to you, because they shut the schools down and told everybody to go home. But I also just finished telling you that the virus peaked here. So what we did worked. You isolate yourself. So, was that severe and extreme level necessary? Well, it is what 1.4 billion people did all across the country voluntarily in cooperation with their government and with the confidence of the government. And you're not hearing that elsewhere. This anti-China crap is just nonsense, okay? I'm here. My wife is Chinese. My mother-in-law is Chinese. Our boy is a mix. We've all been in the house here for a month. Do you hear me? So please, pay attention, all right? And I speak for all Chinese all over this country right now to you and to all the other hundreds of thousands of foreigners that I'm on the phone with every day and on WeChat. We're all talking to each other. We're all doing the same thing, okay? Here we are. So just what you're hearing on the news, ignore it. It's just completely, I shouldn't say completely, so much of it is wrong, okay? Here's what you need to know. We did what we did without panicking, and that's what you need to know. And I'm telling you right now, the mentality of governments and people in the West, there's so much bad information going out there that I'm not confident. Because I'm not confident, it's been in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind to figure out how to tell all of you how to deal with this in the way that you can most relate to it. And I came up with it. And I wrote it up in a Facebook post, and I'm going to tell it to you here verbally right now in the next 5 minutes. If this virus hits near where you live, that's your city. So if you're in San Francisco and then there's reports that there's been 30 to 50, 2 or 3 cases, and then the next few days something says there's 30 to 50 cases you're in that city, especially if you're near where the virus infections were, like within a couple of miles. This just happened to a friend of mine in Germany. He said there's a guy 2 miles away at a school who got a positive test on being infected with coronavirus, and they shut the whole school down and the whole little village. And that's exactly right. So this is what you need to understand. But the positive way to understand it is when the virus hits your neighborhood, your city, if it does, just mentally start to prepare yourself for, you know what, honey, kids, it's time to go camping for a month. You see? Now I want you to think about that let's talk through that for a couple of minutes. That's what you do when you go camping, isn't it? You just get away. When you go camping, and I've gone camping, you got your tent, maybe your back of your pickup with the camper thing in the back. And what do? You drive an hour and a half up into the mountains. In the case of Arizona, Phoenix, right outside of Phoenix, you go up to the Sedona side, you go up to the Prescott side, the Sedona side, or up to Payson, the Mogollon Rim, and you're out of town. You go down south to the desert toward Tucson. You can go camping in the desert. You go camping along a creek, and you don't do anything, right? What are you doing? Come on, we're going camping. What are we going to do? Well, we're not going to do anything. We're going camping. That's exactly what you need to do. Now, of course, you're going to do that at home. And this is the correct mentality. And also, the other characteristic of going camping is that you don't crowd up with other people, do you? I mean, when I went camping at the lakesides in the woods, I can remember doing it. Our tent was here, and the nearest tent was at least 100 feet away. The tents are all spread out, the tent places, right, in the forest. And that's the characteristic. And that's exactly what you want to do. And you just wave to the other people in the tent, and you keep 6 feet away from them. You see? So you're isolated, but you're relaxed and you're friendly. Hey, how you doing over there? We're in your tent. We're doing good over here in our tent. Yeah, you got a little wood? We need an extra piece of wood. Yeah, you want some salt? Here you go. And you just, you isolate. That's what you're doing when you're camping. You're isolating yourself, okay? That is making a video. And so that's it, folks. Camping. Now, it's camping with a focus on hygiene. You go home, the school's shut, the businesses are shut down, so you really are camping because you're home and you got nothing else to do. Now, the advantages are you got your TV, you're all locked into technology, you got your streaming video and this and that. You got all that stuff. You got that wonderful opportunity to do more educational type things with your family, bond with your wife, fix your marriage, bond with your kids, do all that wonderful stuff that you hadn't done before, write the book you always wanted to write, whatever you're going to do. You got that month. Take up Taekwondo, lose the 20 pounds. There's 1,000 things you can think about if you're like, hey, we need to go camping for the next month. Here's the key. You're not going to have a choice. Because if your community, your government, local government and community and municipality needs to cooperate in this, and you need to go tell them they need to cooperate in this in case they're thinking that they don't, which is to shut everything down. So you're going to have nowhere to go. All your businesses are going to shut down. The only thing that's going to stay open is the grocery store, Walmart, and they're going to have minimal staff, okay? And when you go to Walmart, okay, they're going to check your temperature at the door to make sure nobody goes in and out who's sick. And if you got a fever, you shouldn't be going out in the first place, right? And also here in China, we use, I don't have the phone in front of me, they used the QR code registration so that wherever you went, people knew where you were. Why is this important? And that leads to the second video, why Dr. Mark Siegel should be removed from Fox News as the medical expert and have his license taken away. He's an incompetent moron, okay? That's in the second video. He's endangering Americans by his negligence and incompetence. Let me tell you about this virus. This is a coronavirus. This particular virus is very nasty because, number one, people who get it don't often show symptoms for around an average of 2 weeks. That could be a week or more than 2 weeks, 18 days, 24 days. On average, 2 weeks, people get the virus and don't even know they're carrying it and are spreading it. See the problem? That's number one. Number two, it has an RO factor that's way above 1. It's 2 or 3 or whatever the heck it is, but it spreads nasty. It's contagious. So people who don't even have symptoms are spreading it around to other people who get it and don't have symptoms and are spreading it around. And then all of a sudden, and listen to me very carefully, Iran has 400 cases. Italy has 900 cases. And now South Korea, boom, 3,000 cases. When like 5 days ago, it was 21. Okay, South Korea yesterday, they were freaking out because the cases went from like a few hundred to 2,000. And then yesterday, it jumped another 600 just in a day. And that's this thing mushrooming. And that's what, because of what I just described to you, that it's contagious and it's spreading without symptoms. Okay? So this is why it's nasty. Number 3, it causes very severe pneumonia, respiratory distress, because that's lung tissue, not bronchitis, into the lungs, infection, and then it seems to somehow also spread to other organs. This is a nasty virus, okay? So 20% of people are getting severe respiratory and pneumonia. That's infection of the lungs, which can damage and scar the lungs permanently. Tough stuff. The majority of those people dying are elderly. 20% are getting severe, and then about 10 to 20% of them are passing away. Most of them are elderly, okay? So that's a 2 to 4% death rate. That's where it's been hovering around. However, a lot of young people are getting stricken, which is really scary as well. Dr. Li Wenliang, another nurse, in total 9 younger healthcare workers in Wuhan, okay, that have died, and they were not old. 29, 33 years old. You got it? So, I've said it. I'll say it one last time, and I'm going to end this video. If the virus hits your neighborhood, start being very aware of doing what mom said when you were young, okay? Which was, there's a nasty bug. When you go outside of your house, don't touch anything that you don't know anything about what it is, where it's been, who else has touched it. Okay, they teach this on the cruise ships too, especially. I used to work on cruise ships twice. Okay, they constantly disinfecting the areas where people touch and push with their fingers, grabbing handrails, door handles, pushing elevator buttons. It's what you, all of those things are what you never do. You use the back of your hand, you use your wrist, you use your elbow, you use the key. I always use my car key. I never touch elevator buttons. You use your car key. You see? Door handles, you pull them with your wrist. Okay? Or you grab a tissue and you pull it with the tissue and you walk out and then you drop the tissue in the nearest garbage. That's what you do. This is critical in addition to washing your hands all the time. You can't get the virus if it doesn't spread. If you do what I just said, it won't spread. Mom was right. And you plan on in your head isolating yourself. Like you said, like I said, you're going camping for a month. Okay? Folks, that's it. When you go camping because you want to get away from everybody and isolate yourself, are you panicking? No. It's the opposite. You're relaxed. You stock up on stuff that you need, which you should do, and you relax and you go camping and you enjoy yourself. But you are being diligent to say, I want to get away from everybody. I don't want to go near my boss. I don't want to be near my workers. I don't want to be near anybody. I want to go camping. And that's exactly the mentality that you need while you stay at home. If that's what happens, if the virus comes and hits your neighborhood, the closer and closer it gets, the more critical it is that you say, yeah, we are going camping as of now. And then everything shuts down and you do it. I'm going to stop right there. I think you get my point very, very clearly. Spread this point to the whole world, to the whole English-speaking world, and everybody else too, because they'll translate it. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.